Hello everyone, my name is Jume from Oral Designs, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to model or design a simple room using Archicad. Now this is a beginner level video, so I'm not going to be going into any intermediate or advanced settings. It's going to be simplified and easy as possible, and hopefully at the end of this video you know how to model a simple room on Archicad. And let's get to it. I'm using Archicad 28. It doesn't really matter the Archicad version you're using, from 22, 3, I think downwards, they all have the same user interface. So it's just for you to open your Archicad and let's get started. And before getting to this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you can get notified when I drop similar and more advanced videos like this. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Now the first tool we're going to be using here is the wall tool. Now because this is a beginner video, I'm not going to be going into all the use of these different tools and commands on Archicad. I'm going to be showing you their use as we advance. Okay, now the first tool we're going to use is our wall tool. And our wall tool is basically the foundation of the building. It's the entire building, in a nutshell, is your walls that you see. So if you have your wall tools clicked, you have to click on this settings dialog here. Look at it, settings dialog. Okay, the reason why we go to settings dialog is because Archicad is going to give you a default settings, and most of the times they are not really good, or they might not really match what you want to use. And if you don't go to the settings dialog, you're not able to edit them and change some basic things like the thickness or the wall height. So now we're here, click on this first structure basic composite. If you click on this, now you can change the wall thickness. This is the wall thickness here. I'm going to use 150, which is 6 inches for those of you familiar with building. You can also change your wall height here. As you can see here is default on 3 meters, which is 3000 millimeters. You can change it. If you change this to not link, you can actually edit this. Let's say you want to put it at 3.2, you can use that. But for me, I want to use the default wall height, which is 3 meters. So I'll change this to home story. And now I've set my wall thickness to 150. So let's get into the main thing. So click on OK. Now we can just draw our wall. And I'm going to be doing a very simple room. You can follow my pace, or you can also always pause the video and follow up. So let's start here. So make sure you are drawing in the 4 walls of this icons, this west, north, east, and south elevation. They're very, very important, and I'm going to be showing you their importance as we go forward. So let's get into it. Okay, so now to draw, you just have to click on your screen. Just click on your screen and drag it up and it's going to draw the wall for you. Now we have this wall. Now I'm going to be using this as our main reference wall. What that means is that this one, I'm going to use this wall to get most of our walls. So now let's click on this. Okay, you can left click, okay, click on move here, and you can click on drag a copy to drag an extra copy. It's just like copy, but this is called drag copy. One easier way to do this is Shift Control D on your keyboard. That makes you faster and easier. Then you click on it. So you can either left click and go to move, or you can hold down Shift Control D at once on your keyboard. It's going to drag a copy. Now you're going to put the space, let's say 3.6. But something important you have to learn is when adding or when copying a wall, you always have to add the wall thickness. So what that means is if our wall is 3.6, we're going to make it 750. Okay. The reason why we're doing this is because you are taking the wall from in to in. If you don't add the wall thickness, let me show you what it's going to be. If you don't add the wall thickness, it's going to give you something like this. Shift Control D and just put 3.6. As you can see, it's going to be short. You will now have to add the wall thickness, which is 150. Okay. So to avoid, sorry, I think let's delete this. So to avoid those stress, just Shift Control D and add your wall thickness. So you can just have 750. And as you can see, it's going to give you 3.6, just like that. Okay, just click on M to measure this. Let's make sure it's accurate. 3.6. Okay, because sometimes this might not be accurate. As you can see, we have our accurate wall. Okay, now click on the wall tool again. Okay, click on this edge. Okay, just drag it to this edge. Now we'll have our base wall here. This is our room space. Now I've gotten the width of our room. Let's get the length. So click on this again. You can either left click, go to move, shift Ctrl D, or you can use your keyboard. I prefer using the keyboard because it makes me faster. So shift Ctrl D on your keyboard, which is drag a copy. Well, let's make this like 3.6. Let's make it 3.8. So for making it 3.8, we're going to use TV 950. Don't forget, because of your wall thickness. Now you can see this is 3.8. So now this is our room right here. So let's just take this again, shift Ctrl D again. Let's get the toilet and the kitchen. This is a simple sketch, so it must not really follow the normal, but as you can see, I'm still trying to keep it to accurate real-time dimensions, so you get used to it. It's better you draw like that so you get used to it. So 1.5 for the width, for the length, so we're going to use 1.650. That's our wall thickness. So we can have 1.5. Now let's share this here again, shift Ctrl D. Now let's make this 1.650, okay, which is 1.5. Okay, now you click on M on your keyboard to measure, so you can see if you have accurate. Okay, now this is 1.950 and this is 1.5. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. So now we'll have our wall. So now you want to cut this out and cut this out because we don't need this anymore. Now you can hold on this trim icon here in your interface. You can hold it, but the reason why this is stressful is because once you click, you have to go back again and click again. And there's an easier way to do that, which is just to hold Control on your keyboard. And once you do that, the trim icon is going to appear. So as long as you're holding Control, you can just cut multiple walls without having to go back there. So what you have to understand is that Archicad has two ways of designing. You can either use your keyboard or you can use the commands. And I prefer using keyboards because they are faster and it's going to make it easier for you. It's only going to be difficult if you're not somebody who's familiar with using a PC or stuff like that. So now we have gotten our room. Okay, so let's make this, let's get something like a veranda. So let's get a veranda here. So click on this wall again, shift Ctrl D. We don't really need much for the veranda. We can use 900, which is 1.050. Don't forget, plus the wall thickness. Now click on this wall. Now if you want to extend the wall on Archicad, it's easy. Just click on the wall and click on this black node. Okay, this black node here, and you can extend it. If you click on the wall and you just click on anywhere, it's going to do some weird things that you might not know how to undo. Okay, and when you make mistakes like this, you can easily just click on Ctrl Z on your keyboard, or if you make mistakes like this, you can just come here and click on undo. It's going to undo it. So when you are clicking one, if you want to extend them, always make sure you are holding on this black node. As you can see, it's going to appear here. Okay, and Archicad is going to give you a line, this broken line. They are like reference where you can follow to make sure your walls are aligned and they are straight. So let's follow the line. Okay, so click here. It's going to come down like this. Now let's just click on this wall again, shift Ctrl D. Let's say we want to make it 2.6. Let's say 2.750. Okay, I think that is too much. Okay, let's go back. Let's take out 400 and let's take out 200. I think this is okay. Now hold Control on your keyboard to cut out these extra walls. Okay, now cut this out. Now cut this out also. As you can see, now we have a veranda here that we can use. Okay, so now we have drawn the wall. Now I've been able to use the wall to create this wall. As you can see, we drew this out of our box, so this is easy. Just highlight this wall, click on anywhere on your workspace. Just click on the mouse. You don't have to hold it, you just have to click on it. And second open, just click on the entire building, just highlight it, then Ctrl D, which is drag, then you can take it here. So don't forget, shift Ctrl D is to drag a copy and Ctrl D is to drag, or you can left click on move, click on drag, and you're going to drag this, and you can drag this to the middle here. Okay, now let's go to the exciting part of Archicad, which is our 3D view. Now the good thing about Archicad is that Archicad is a BIM software. Okay, so which means, what that means is that whatever you're doing on 2D is going to reflect on your 3D, which is BIM, building information and modeling. That's the full meaning. Unlike 2D software and 2D CAD softwares like AutoCAD that you have to design on 2D, then you have to later extrude, Archicad makes it easier for you. As long as you are designing your 2D, your 3D automatically appears. So now you're going to have this 3D view here. If you look here, you have a ground floor view, a 3D view, and an elevation view. These are the 3D default views that comes whenever you open Archicad. Okay, as you can see, ground floor is a 2D, 3D, and you have a 2D elevation. So you click on your 3D, as you can see, what we have been doing so far is appearing here. Okay, it's here. So to rotate or to orbit around this, just click on O on your keyboard and you orbit, or you can left click and you find orbit here. Now you can orbit, just hold your mouse, and now you can see what you have been doing so far. As you can see, it's looking really nice. So this is what our ground floor. Okay, now we're done with the wall tool. Let's move on to the next tool. The next tool here is the slab tool. Now, what's a slab? The slab is just your ground level to the foundation. It's what you see, is what you are standing on, what you are sitting on. It's just your ground level. That's a slab. And without your slab, as you can see, your building is going to be floating. Okay, it's going to look very weird. You have to have a covering here. Okay, so go back to your ground floor and let's go down to this settings dialog. Always go to the settings dialog because you have to set it. Like I said, Archicad is going to give you a generic settings, and generic settings are good, but if you are someone but when you start designing for clients or more advanced projects, you will need to be editing some of these things, thickness and the rest. So click on this first one. It's going to give you the second one on default. Click on this first, structural basic composite. Okay, now this is the thickness. You can change the thickness. Let's say you want to make it 450. And this is a concrete structural slab, so change this to 450. This is the reference to the home story. What this means is where it's going to start from to the ground floor. Okay, I put this on 0, so it's going to start from the base of my building to the ground. Okay, now click on OK. 450. Now there are two ways of drawing a slab on Archicad. There is this geometric rectangular method, and there is this geometric polygon method. I'm going to show you what that means. If you have a building that is a perfect square or a perfect rectangle, if you use this second icon here, which is this geometric rectangular method, you need to draw the slab like a rectangle. It's very easy to draw it like that, but when you have something, a more advanced building, maybe a building with a lot of edges, this might be stressful for you. So what you use in that case is this geometry polygon method. What this means is you're going to pick all the edges. It's like you're just drawing round, you know. Okay, a drawing round. Okay, so this is for when you have more complex buildings, but since our building is a perfect square, we don't need to use this geometry method. We can just use this rectangular method. So just click here and just drag it here like this. Okay, now we have our slab. So go to your 3D. As you can see, the slab is here. Now our building is not floating again. It looks more realistic because it's sitting on something. And this is our slab. From our ground level, from our base level to the ground is about 450 in thickness. You can use whatever thickness you want to use. You can use 600, you can use 1 meter, it all depends on you. So go to your ground floor. Now I've put the slab. Let's go to the next tool here, which is the column tool. I'm going to try and use all the basic tools you can use to get into a building. I'm not going to go into any advanced tools like I said in the beginning. So if you want to look at more advanced tools, I'm going to be dropping more videos like that. So make sure you hit the notification button and subscribe button. So click on the column here. Now what's the column? I like explaining this thing so that in case, because not all of you here are architecture students or architecture inclined individuals or engineering inclined individuals. Some of us are just people who want to learn to start for the first time. So a column is a vertical structural composite, and what it does is that it transfers loads usually from the roof, the beam. I'm going to be getting into a beam later, down to the ground. Columns are also known as pillars. Many people know it as pillars. They're just load carrying composites. They carry load, they are vertically and structurally erect. Without a column, it's safe to say that your building might collapse or have problems. Columns are very essential in buildings. Okay, you can call them pillars, but structurally and professionally they are called columns. Now we click on this column tool. I'm not going to be doing much settings here because this column tool, there are some advanced settings you can use to get a very nice column, but this is a beginner friendly video, so I'm going to be keeping it simple. So click here. Okay, so you can see this is the thickness. Okay, you can see this is the width and this is the height. So what this icon means here is that whatever you set here is going to be set here. If you click on this, you can have 2 different thickness and 2 different heights. Okay, so let's say okay, and let's put this column here. Okay, let's reduce this a bit. Okay, let's click on the settings dialog. Let's change this to let's say 2 to 5. it's good your column is thicker than your walls so it can carry load. As you can see, it's already the first part that's increased because we didn't on this. But when you turn this on and you increase it again, it's going to affect on both sides. That's what that setting is for. Okay, so 225, which is 9 inches. So Ctrl D, just drag this to this point here. Okay, now if you go to your 3D, you can see that your column is going to sit directly on top of the slab. This is a very simple modeling, so it's nothing too serious. Okay, nothing too serious. Okay, so let's shift this a bit so we can have more space here. So click on this, Ctrl D, let's take out 500, just tap 500 on the keyboard. Okay, now click on this wall. Remember what I told you, the black node, drag this here, then cut this. Now we have this. So go to your 3D, so you can see we have more space here. Okay, this is better. Now we have drawn our columns. Now we have used our wall slab column. We're actually going very far. So the next tool we're going to use here is our beam tool. Now, what's a beam tool? A beam tool is like a column, but the difference is a beam tool is usually in an horizontal load carrying composite. Unlike the column that is a vertical load carrying composite, a beam tool is usually an horizontal load carrying composite. And what that means is that a beam usually transfers load from the roof, or let me say the parapet, or any load bearing composite that is horizontal. The beam carries it. Okay, it transfers load, and beam usually sits on a column. So that's why when you see these balconies, let me use a balcony for example, a balcony where you stand on, that's the beam, and that beam there is transferring load from the building. Okay, it's transferring load from the building straight to the balcony, which is why you can stand on the balcony. Without a beam is equally as important as a column. They are both very important structural composites that you need in a building. Okay, so please don't neglect any of them. So let's click on the beam here. Change this from let's go to this settings dialog. Sorry, this is the beam settings dialog next to the column. Let's change this. This is the thickness. Now beam thickness is usually rhymes with your wall thickness, so change this from 300 to 150. Okay, this is 150 now because our wall thickness is 150. If your wall thickness is 225, use 225. If your wall thickness is 300, use 300. That's how this works. Okay, and for this is the height. 400 is okay for the height, so click on OK. Now this is where our beam is going to be. Don't forget, I told you our beam is going to sit on top of the column. The beam is going to transfer load of the roof load from this angle to this angle, and it's going to sit on top of this column. Don't forget, in as much as you're an architect or a designer who is designing for aesthetics, don't forget you're also going to design for structural standings. Don't neglect that, please. Very important. So click on this. Okay, let's click on this now. Click on this again. Let's click on this. Now Archicad draws the beam at the middle because that's how it's supposed to be, but this now wanted. So click on this. Okay, Ctrl D here, then drag this. Okay, so now that I've dragged this here, let's do the same here. Click on this, Ctrl D, drag this. So the beam is inside this wall and it sits on top of this pillar, this column. So now we have this. We have to join this beam together. As you can see, it's looking very weird. So just click on this black node again. Click this here. Now click on this black node in the middle, then click here. Okay, now go to your 3D. You can see this is going to look. You can see the beam is carrying the load and it's going to transfer it to the column. Now that load is going to be put very soon. Okay, now we have our beam here. Okay, this is very good. Our building is very looking nice. It's coming out very nice now. Okay, now the next tool I'm going to use here is, I like to call them the structural accessories, because in as much as they have functionality, they are what makes up the building. And some of those tools are our door and window tools. And the first tool here is the door tool. Now I don't need to explain what a door is. Everyone knows what a door is. So click on this door tool here. Okay, now where can we place our door? Okay, let's place our door here. Okay, first of all, you know that you should know that the width for a door, a standard door, is width is about 900 to 1 meter. Okay, that's for a normal single door. Double doors varies from 1.2, 1.5, 1.8. Okay, these are basic sizes you can find in architects data or just online if you do your research. And you can see Archicad got it very specific. They will give you the default 900, and which is the width, and 2.1, which is the height. So you don't need to change anything there. Just put the door here. I created this space for the door, so now we have our door here. Okay, now go to your 3D. You can see this is our door, but you can see this is looking very, very basic, not like a door that you want to use. Okay, for a beginner this is okay, but I don't think door settings should be part of intermediate learning. It's something you should know. So click on this door and just click on the door here. Click on this settings dialog here. Okay, you have to be very careful in this dialog because you can set some things that you're not able to set, so just be very careful. As you can see, once you open settings dialog, this is the first thing that's going to show. Okay, sometimes it might put you at preview and positioning. Okay, these are okay. So all you need to do is just click on this hinged and door settings. It's going to open this for you. Okay, this is the grid. What this means is you can change this from no grid to panel to flush. If you click on this, you'll see a bunch of styles here. I usually like using this style 1, which is a flush door, because that's how most modern doors are, and I like minimalistic designs. But for this video, let's just use a panel door. So let's pick a panel. Okay, let's use this panel door here. Now click on handle. Of course, you have to have a handle so it looks realistic. So let's just use this handle here. Okay, so click on OK. As you can see, it's looking better now. It's looking more like a door. Okay, rotate. You can see it's looking more like a door. That's very good. So now go to your ground floor. Okay, now one thing you have to learn is that now you have done the settings to this door. If you click on the door here and just put it here, okay, you're not going to get a good result because the settings you apply there are for this door only. So you go to your 3D, you see that this door is still on default, and there's a very easy way to fix that. Okay, so all you need to do is click on this pick up parameters here. Click on the door, the parameter you want to pick up, which is the door, pick it up. Then click on this inject parameters, then inject it on this door. Go to your 3D, you can see this door has changed. So easy. Okay, very easy like that. So let's say this is a smaller door. So click on this and you can change the width from here. Okay, just click on here. You have to open the settings dialog. Just change this to 750, which is a smaller door size. Click enter. Okay. Now let's do this inject and pick this parameter so you can place a door here too. So let's place a door here. Okay, let's delete this door. Then let's pick parameters again. Then let's place a door here. Okay, go to your 3D. Now you have a door. Okay, now you have a door. You can also change the door designs. If you want different door, you can just click on this, go to settings dialog, change this to a different panel. Okay, and it's going to change. So just like that. Now I've placed our doors, our beam, and our columns. So our beam is really coming out now. The next we're going to use is the windows tool. Everybody know what the windows are. They are for ventilation, lighting, and also have other structural and functional purposes. So the window tool is next to the door here. So click on the window tool here. Okay, now unlike doors that usually have fixed widths, windows can actually be very flexible depending on what you want. Okay, so for that, let's click on this settings dialog here. Okay, Archicad has a large array of windows, but unfortunately they're not really very good windows. I don't really enjoy any of them here. They are pretty basic, and if I'm to be honest, most of them are actually useless. You might not use any of them here. Okay, just like these historic windows, like whatever this is, I don't think you're going to ever need this. So click on these basic windows here. Now I want a double casement windows. Casement windows are windows that open, outward from inward, just like a door. I'm going to be using sliding window, going to be using casement. So for that, click on this double window here. So now you can change the width here. Let's say we want to make this width, let's say 1.2 by 1.5. That's okay. This is the height. So click OK. I'm going to be showing you something very important for the window here. Okay, so let's place the window here, and let's place one here too. go to your 3D. As you can see, we have placed our windows, but there's an issue here. Windows are usually supposed to start at the same level as the door. I'm going to explain to you why. You see, in construction, there's something called lintel level, and lintel level is usually where the door ends and the window, where the door height starts from and the window height starts from. That is called the lintel level. So Archicad is going to give you a default lintel level, which is your door height, but the windows usually start higher. Now, there are ways of calculating to fix this, but those are going to be very stressful for you, especially when you're a beginner. Let me show you an easier method. So this is where the elevation comes in. So click on your start elevation here. Okay. As you can see, this is our door height. Okay, and this is our window height. It's very easy to just align this. What you're going to do is click on this document tool here. Click on this line tool here. Change this here to something more visible, like black. Now make sure this is the tricky part. Make sure you follow this angle here. I'm going to give you this angle easy by just highlighting it. So click on this. Drag this to this extent. Okay. Now click on the window. Just click on Ctrl D and drag this down. Make sure you follow this reference. And there you have it. Just like that, you have changed the height of this window. Instead of doing a lot of calculations, you can just do it as easy as that. The reason I'm showing you these easy steps is because most of us here are beginners. And if you try to follow intermediate ways of solving beginner level problems, it's going to be like a lot of work. So now you have done that. As you can see, our windows are on the same height with our doors. Very easy. Okay. So now remember what I taught you. Okay. Pick parameters. So pick this parameter and inject it here. Okay. Inject it here, so that this window can also be on the same height as this. Okay. 2 windows are okay. I think 2 are okay. Or you can just shift this here, Ctrl D. Or you can, instead of pick parameters, just hold down Alt on your keyboard. It's the same thing as this pick parameters. Hold down Alt. Click on this, and you can get a window. So let's put a window there. Very good. Now we have windows. Now you should know that for your WC and your WC is just your toilet and your kitchen, you can't use this kind of big windows here. It's not going to make sense. So we're going to use a smaller window. So for that, we're going to click on the window settings. Click over the settings again. Instead of using this double casement, let's use this single casement, which is here. Okay, let's change this to let's say 600. And let's change the height to 650. And click OK. And you can put this here. Now if you go to your 3D, you're going to see that you're going to have a problem again, because the height of this window is going to be very low. You see? Now this is not your fault. This is just how Archicad likes to set it. Now let's solve this the way we solved the previous one. Okay. Now all you need to do is just to go to your ground floor. Let's just assume this window here. Okay. Let's just assume we put this window here. Okay. Now click on your north elevation. You can see this window is in our reference point. So we can even use this one if we wanted. I forgot. Just click here. Click on this window, just like you did with the other one. So let's use this one instead. I think let's go to our ground floor. Let's see if I'm making the right. Our offset to story is 737. Click on this. It's also 737. Let's click on this. Okay, I guess we're correct. So click on the line tool here. Click on this angle. Click on this window here. Ctrl D. Just drag this here. Okay. You can see this offset to story is going to change. What this means, this shift to story is your shift to story is actually where your window starts from. As you can see, this is much higher than this, because this window's height is long. This is a longer window. That's why it's like that. So you can go ahead and delete this. We don't need that window anymore. Delete this line. And you can go to your ground floor. Hold down Alt to pick parameters and just put this window here. Okay. Just like that, we have created walls, doors, windows, beam, column, and our building is looking, our room rather, is looking very, very nice. I'm really proud of this, you know. And you should be proud too if you go to this level. And if you're not going to this level yet, still be proud of yourself. Now we're on 3D and we're basically done with everything, right? Now the only thing we need, the final touching to actually put this whole design together, is our roof. Now I don't need to explain it. What a roof is a structural component, you know, that shelters the house, keep the house from rain and also add some aesthetic beauty to the house. Okay, now usually roofs are drawn on top some structural components like parapets, also known as concrete eave and concrete fascia. But like I said, those are more advanced settings. I'm not going to be going into those for this video. For this video is a very simple video. I'm going to just join the roof in a simple way. But if you want to learn how to draw a concrete eave or a parapet, just click on the notification button. I'm going to be dropping videos like that on how to draw similar stuff like that. So let's just draw the roof here. So before we draw the roof, we have to have something it's going to stand for. The roof can just float. So for that, I'm going to use this slab. Click on slab. Okay. Click on slab here next to wall. And just draw this. Just draw this like this. Okay. Now go to your 2D. You're going to see that we're going to have two slabs here. So just click on one. Okay. First of all, let's go to our start elevation. Let's do this in our start elevation. There are two slabs there. So just click on one. Remember, we draw the other one on top. So Ctrl D. Pick from this point. Okay. And drag this here. But this is too high, so let's reduce this thickness from here from 450 to 150. Just type in 150. Click OK. Then click on this point again. Then drag it down. Now go to your 3D. This is what you have. Go to okay. Sorry, we're supposed to do something. Just delete this. There's something we're supposed to do before we do that. I forgot to say that. Okay. So let's say we draw the slab again. Okay, first of all, we're supposed to do this. Click on this slab, click on anywhere outside the walls of this slab. Just click on anywhere. Okay, this toolbox is going to open. Click on this offset all edges. You have to do this. You have to offset all edges because this is going to where I get to get your overhang from. So let's say our overhang is 600, where our roof is going to sit on. Click on 600. Type 600. Going to have this. Now you can now change this to 150. So go to your start elevation. You can see it's going to appear here. So Ctrl D, pick it from this point now. Make sure you follow the reference. Place it here. So go to your 3D. As you can see, this is our overhang. So when you rotate, this is where our roof is going to sit on. Okay. So now let's draw the roof. So go to your ground floor. Our overhang is going to appear here. Now click on the roof here. Click on the settings dialog. Okay. Click on this geometry and positioning. Archicad is going to give you this default shear roof. Click on this one. Okay, this timber roof is flexible. It's more flexible than the default roof Archicad is going to give you. So click on this roof thickness. We don't need 200. That's too much. Just 20 is okay. Or let's say 50 is okay. Okay. Then this is the slope. Okay, you know what the slope is. It's going to show how high your roof is going to be. Now this is on 45. I think 45 is okay. Let's see how that goes. Click on OK. Now draw this roof. Just like slab, there are two ways of drawing roof. You can use this rectangular method if your roof is a perfect square, or you can click on this first construction method if your building has edges. Okay, but for this video we don't need that because our building is a perfect square. So click on roof and let's just use this rectangular method and draw the roof. Okay, as you can see, the roof has really overhang over our overhang. Wow. So there's an easier way to fix that. Just click on this roof. Okay, just like we did with this slab. Click on this edge here. Click on this offset all edges. Okay, and take this to this blue line. This blue line is the reference. This is where our slab is. Okay, just click on continue. Oh, sorry, let's go back. Okay, let's do that now. Yeah, so go to your 3D. As you can see, this is where our roof is. It's inside our slab. You want to be on top, so click on your elevation, click on your roof. Take it from this node. Don't take it from here. From here to here is the thickness, so take it from here. This is where your roof starts from. So Ctrl T. So drag this, and there you have it. You have a roof. It's a bit high, but I'm good with that. So go to your 3D. Okay, now we have our roof. And just like that, we are done. Okay, our building is done. We have put most of the basic structural components and aesthetic components in it. We have put in our roof. Okay, now if you found this video insightful and helpful, please hit the notification, the like button and subscribe button. Sorry, and also hit the notification button because I'm going to be showing you how to do more advanced settings and more advanced models. This is just a very basic model. So okay, this is just for practice. So if you got to this end of this video like this, kudos to yourself, and also like if it helped you a lot. But if you didn't get to the end of this video without pausing, or maybe you got stuck in some places, please, okay, feel free to pause, feel free to rewind as much as you need to. Okay, this is a learning process. You don't have to get it right the first time. Okay, and also you can also go on the comment section, okay, if you're having difficulties or if you have additions or questions to ask. But for now, this is the end of this video. See you in the next one.